Right then, so we talked, it came up, didn't it, in yesterday's read, the 11, and I think today is more important because there's a lot of astrology, which I'm going to read you in a minute. The 11 is justice. It's always connected to the High Priestess, the 1111 doorway. When spirit are trying to talk to you and you're not listening, you'll see 1111 many places. So 11 is important. And those of you that have been watching me years ago when I was skeptic and when I refused to accept messages from spirit, I went with a friend to a spiritual evening, and although I went to make sure that the friend didn't get conned, she wrote everything down, and the message was actually for me. And one of the things that medium told me was that 11 would be very important, and many times in my life it's come out, but never more so than when my son was born. And he was born at 11 minutes past 1 on the 11th of the 1st. And as you know, I'm a High Priestess, so the 11 means a lot to me. And it should be very important wherever you see it to you, 11. So let's see. What this is giving us for the 11th is Venus, which is ruled by Leo and Taurus. It enters Gemini. Sun conjunct Jupiter, Venus trine Pluto. A meeting or news will be significant. Communications are likely to get busier and more varied and upbeat. A financial matter is best dealt with carefully and with long-term view. Romance and socializing could be fulfilling. Moon enters Capricorn. So we're looking for all those points. Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Pluto, Jupiter, Pentacles and Cups. So let's see what we get. Eleventh of April 2023. Messages, Spirit, please. God damn it, I've done it wrong. So far we're doing okay. We'll go backwards. Getting ahead of myself, I was doing monthly, which is not what we want. There it is. So Pisces energy, love has left the building. Pisces and Neptune leaving, hopefully. It's those born in the year of the horse. It's emotions, lack of communication, lack of movement forwards. So it's time to walk away from that misery. Leave the misery of the past behind and walk away. Come out of that nightmare. There is light at the end of the tunnel. 8 months, 9 weeks. There may be reunions and celebrations at the end of this. Unconditional love, Cancer energy. And I did mention July in yesterday's read, sorry. Again, he's got a Pisces around his neck, but it's just to signify the water signs. It is a Cancer card. Cancer of any gender and cuspers. So early Cancer is Gemini, late Cancer is Leo. It is unconditional love. It's somebody who is in charge of their emotions. They've learned all the lessons that need to be learned in love. Justice will be served. Number 11, today's card. So it's neutral apart from the fact that it's in the upright. So we know that justice will be served. But the number 10 brings a change and brings a change in our luck. Fate is working in our favour. So it's the only card that's of real significance because, like I said, that one's neutral. So it is all about the emotions, being in charge of your emotions. And when you are, then you will come out of this nightmare. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. The 3 fates are mentioned more than once. The maiden, the mother and the crone. You don't get sirens for no reason during the read, so there may be an emergency. Yep, you're with the wrong team. It's time to leave. Walk away. Red lights, red flags. Watch out when you're driving for those red lights. Don't run those red lights. But you are with the wrong team. Somebody is dependent on you emotionally or financially, or you on them, and it's time to stand on your own 2 feet. 9 years. There she is. I always said, didn't I? The 11 goes with the High Priestess. And we had her more than once. The 2 and 29, massively important. Sacrifices need to be made for you to come back from the gates of hell. October the 11th, where I come from, the Carnival people. And the song is Never Enough. And I believe, if I'm right, but I'm not sure that I am, it's from that one about the circus people. Can't remember what it's called. Something about shows. I don't know. I'll find it and do it. Never enough. So somebody is ungrateful. You'll never be good enough for someone. Whatever you do, no matter what you do, it'll never be good enough. And you've got to come back from those gates of hell. Yeah. Blocked communication or negative communication. That money is not arriving in the post. Child maintenance is not arriving. It could be of earth sign child, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that's let you down in some way. Anybody with a darker complexion or in uniform. They're not communicating in any way, shape or form. There's no security or finances. And then we get the fire sign child or younger energy, a passionate person of any sign. It's the gypsy card for the tall, handsome stranger walking into your life that changes everything. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Yeah. Justice must be seen to be served. Somebody is trying to sit on the fence and brush things under the carpet and people please. Not willing to bring those walls down or to change things. The 16 is a blockage. It's water, electrical problems, arguments, accidents within the home. Watch out for those. And the 19, something comes to light. Those blockages will be removed and happiness returns. Travel, children especially, And Leo energy, which is what I said in it, it rules Venus, Leo and Taurus. There is a lack of security, a lack of finances, great losses financially and stability-wise. So the only major arcanas we've got is 2 and 29, which is positive, 16, which is negative. Wherever you see those numbers. You're protecting yourselves. You're not letting anything into your aura, be it financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually, that's negative. You are putting up your force fields. So look after yourself. Yeah. Something isn't over yet. The chapter's not ended because you have to bring these walls down. Destroy something so that something new can be born. And some of you are not ready yet. 21. Delays in travel. Delays in the new beginning, because you have to see things clearly. You have to admit to yourself. Again, we've got this family or this energy of uniforms, darker complexions. This is the Minor Arcana of the Empress. Taurus energy, Taurus cuspa. Early Taurus is Aries, late Taurus is Gemini. So Taurus and Gemini are all mentioned in today's astrology. It's a good friend and a generous one. Things will improve through a female or through a Taurus, which is May. And we have Scorpio. Scorpio, cuspa of any gender. So early Scorpio is Libra, late Scorpio is Sagittarius. Also mentioned. It's about, again, filling your own cup. The reproductive organs and shared resources. Births and deaths, rebirths. And we keep getting those sirens, don't we? Something's going on. So it could be an emergency. Again, they've given us these cards doubled up on everything. So 10 years, there is no financial or emotional security. A great financial loss. What the hell is going on? It's important. The sirens don't go off for no reason. And there it is. So they've doubled up again. Walk away. This is not your issue anymore. It's not your monkeys, not your circus. The mountains that you see in the forefront maybe are the ones that you were frightened to climb, but they are there for you to overcome. Yeah. An apology, healing. Now we've got all generations apart from the King of Pentacles. Again, it's agriculture. It's the year of the horse. It's people in uniform. It's the darker complexion. It's the scar on the leg. It's the limp or the amputation. It is Chiron. It is physician heal thyself. Chiron, the wounded healer. Once you're healed, you will be able to show others how to heal themselves. And it's Virgo energy. Health issues. You need to release this burden. Let go. It's no longer yours. There is someone here that wants to win at all costs. Do you want to win or do you want to be happy? This is someone that stirs the shit pot. If they do, they must be made to lick the stick. There's no two ways about it. They cause the trouble, they have to pay for it. But not by you, but by spirit. So what they don't realise is nobody wins this. And everyone will regret it. 5 weeks, violent episodes and arguments. Step away, walk away. Don't get involved. And what can we say about that? You cannot make it up. Venus, ruled by Taurus and Leo. Not the main cards for them, but it is important. The number 4. It is also, as I've said before, the Empress. And that's the Minor Arcana of the Empress card. So the number 3 and 30 could be important. Love is my religion. and I could die for that. The name John could be important. You must let love take care of it for now, even if it's love for yourself. Venus is the morning star. Morning star is another name for Lucifer. He was not a devil but a fallen angel, the brightest of the planets. It's the planet of beauty and balance, and it's named after the goddess of love and romance, which is what the planets rule in Scandinavian lands. And we said in the astrology, didn't we? Venus is there. Among the Greeks, she was Aphrodite. Venereal disease was called after Venus. So someone may have to apologise because they've caught something and it's not from you. You need to walk away from people like that. It's also Freya. Among the Greeks, she was Aphrodite. Venereal disease is the name of Venus. After all, she charms and seduces. She was once associated with Lucifer, who was not a demon but an angel of light who fell to earth plane from heavens. And nobody wants a perfect angel because they have not experienced the lessons that need to be learned to heal others. In reality, the part of the astrological chart Venus rules is where we want the good life, where we desire ease and comfort and staying in our comfort zone, sweets and kisses, where we want to see beautiful, be beautiful and smell beautiful. Venus co-rules the signs of Libra and Venus. So there we are. We've got Libra today, the number 11, and Taurus, which is coming soon at the end of this month. But the energies function differently. In the sign of Libra, which we have today, Venus works best in the fields of beauty, social balance, romantic love, while in Taurus it's about creature comforts and accumulating fineries. So Spirit wants you to concentrate on the things you cannot buy. In both signs, Venus is a very partner orientated. There is a great need to unite with another when the Venus card presents itself. This can bring on codependency, which we have there. We're not standing on our own 2 feet. And fears of going it alone. Yes, great fear. Both Libra and Taurus are signs best supported in some form of partnership, but it does not necessarily have to be romantic or marriage. Venus is a lesser Neptune. Love, romance and art are her domains, yet she doesn't get lost in them or lose her practical side. In fact, Venus is the planet of fashion, luxuries, balance, symmetry, artistic ability and sugary foods. She prefers to overlook the ugliness of the world. Buying objects that are beautiful but unnecessary or excessive may come into play when this card is drawn. So be careful of wasting funds on items just because you want them. Sometimes, like I said in the song, somebody's never satisfied. They've got to have it. You may feel compelled to buy something beyond your budget because you think it's beautiful, but you don't need it. On the other hand, you may be attracting those very things on your own. Venus also rules money, especially money shared in partnerships or marriage, but this can be a business enterprise as well. Money worries will find resolution. Art, hair salons, restaurant, movies, concerts, dance recitals, craft shows, cosmetics and fashion may figure in. You may be dealing with artists or people who work in the arts. You may discover a more creative, artistic side to yourself. Venus is the most humane and fair of planets, so you may be asked or feel compelled to settle a dispute. So I was wrong. Leo's not part of that, but they are very, they like to be on stage, so that's why I was thinking of them, sorry. But more than this card indicates either a new love coming into your life, a tall, handsome stranger, or the improvement and new start of an older love relationship. So when the Venus card presents itself in a reading, the first thing to focus on is romance and love, but after that, creativity and refinement. You can be assured you are found very attractive at this present time and may be the subject of some advances. If so, romance becomes playful, even childlike. It is time for full heart blessings. If a relationship begins, it will be more a sense of contentment and happiness to it, unless we end up with Saturn, which is the Taurus. And then it will be cold and restrictive, so it depends which side of this coin you're on. Venus is the planet of charmers, so you may want to pour on the charm There is a tendency to become more socially engaging, and people will generally be sweeter and more helpful and amenable. Use diplomacy because it will serve you best at this time. It's also about the merging of two families, comforts, love, beauty, eating, abundance, sensing, relating, and expensive purchases. So, it's also pregnancy, the Empress, so it could be that a child is being born. And there we have the 16, which is the blot on the copybook, isn't it? The 16, those walls. Caridian decided something had to be a certain way, and she had what she termed as an ugly child, which usually what you see in someone else is what's inside of you. So she maybe felt something was ugly to do with herself. And to make him special, she made a potion, hoping that he would be the greatest wizard that ever lived. Unfortunately, she was lazy and left the child servant to stir the pot. And he licked his thumb, and he became the greatest wizard. She couldn't have that, so she went out to destroy that poor child. And like I said, revenge is not dealt by you, so she shouldn't have done that. And in the end, she ate him. But from that, the child was born in a very unusual way, as it always is in myth and legend. And it was so pretty she couldn't stand to have it around. So she abandoned it, left it to somebody else to bring up. And that child became the greatest wizard there ever was. So be careful that you don't become your own worst enemy by thinking you know best. Sometimes, no matter what you do, it's never enough. 16. So, and she's stirring the pot. What did I say about those who choose to stir the shit pot should be made to lick the stick? Ceridwen is known as the shape-shifting underworld goddess. She is said to stir her cauldron, making her herbal magical brews, planning and plotting. Legend tells of Gwion, a boy left in charge of to stir the cauldron potion, who accidentally splashes an accident. It wasn't on purpose, it wasn't deliberate, and he sucked the 3 drops off his thumb, and from that potion he bestowed knowledge, magic, and the goddess' shape-shifting skills. Ceridwen was angry and chased Gwion, and they both shape-shifted into many number of animals to escape, until eventually Gwion was eaten by Ceridwen. But his life force emerged with hers, and she became pregnant, so merged again. 2 families possibly merging with his essence. Ceridwen could not bear to keep him. He was such a beautiful child, so she bundled him off and set him on the water, where he was later found and adopted. It is said that he grew up to be the most famous wizard Taliesin. So maybe you're adopted and you finally find your family, but it's not what you expected. On drawing the Ceridwen card, a transformation is likely, the Scorpio energy. And if you're not already beginning one, first it is necessary to gather all the correct ingredients and place them in the mixing pot, being careful to ensure that everything is placed in its correct time, which may mean that astrological points have to be in the right order. So today's astrology. And you will not be the same afterwards. This is usually a good thing, because no matter how you perceive it at the time, it may be a blessing in disguise. Just as the story of the shapeshifter goes, so too is it important to shapeshift and be adaptable to every different situation. What in your life can you apply this to? Where do you need to adapt or adopt a different way of being? Maybe because of an accident. Look at each situation and decide what qualities you need most to navigate your way through. It's about thinking and doing differently in order to obtain a different outcome than normal. What magic will you put into that cauldron? Ceridwen is also known as the moon goddess, another significant sign of cycles and change. Everything is in a state of flux. The only constant in life is the change, which is what they gave us in the beginning, the change. Everything A time to roll with the flow. Look at yourself and your life and see what needs to change. Needs to move, needs to grow, and then let it in. Don't resist it, because that's what's happening here with the Tower, the 16. Somebody has resisted it, trying to ignore it. What are you ready to create? Pisces, again, which is what we started, the Horseman. The 9th house of Sagittarius. So we're learning some hard lessons. And Mars, I think. Or is it Mars? Yes. So the god of war. University, study, learning, hips, thighs, publishing houses, newspaper offices, foreign shores. The colour green and white. So the heart and the crown chakra. The aha moment. Higher learning, philosophy, distant horizons, your ethics, your visions, your beliefs, religion, long journeys, in-laws and foreign affairs. Mars in Pisces. Fluidity, assertiveness, but impractical, self-sacrificing, don't sacrifice yourself, imaginative and easily sidetracked. Mars in Pisces embraces martyrdom. So that's what that tarot card is doing, embracing martyrdom, brushing things under the carpet to keep the peace. And has a strong sex drive and is most attracted to fantasy lovers, so living in a dream world, possibly because of impotence. So manners, mankind, the collective, the appearance of manners always relates directly to the person who has asked the question. Aries and Scorpio are involved somewhere. It may signify your status and the way others tend to perceive you. It also serves as a reminder we are all products of our experiences and urges you to take a good look at your own conduct before you start criticising others. So like I said, sometimes some people, the things you do are never enough. Stop criticising others and don't let them criticise you. The rune may well have further implications. It can reveal that you've been deluding yourself and that you are not the person that you thought you was. So when this rune is prominent in a reading, it's time for a reassessment and an examination of your motives and aims. Equally, the motives of others should be under scrutiny, and you should ask some searching questions before you commit yourself to anything binding. Manners is not a room of haste. It is important decisions are to be made, and manners appears in a reading. Take your time, consult a trusted advisor who has no personal interest in this situation, and wait to see what develops. Legal affairs and far-reaching decisions are likely when this rune is drawn, but this is no reason to panic. If you slow down and look within yourself, it is likely that you will find the right solution. But I would not rely on friends for that advice either, because whether you believe it or not, they do have an invested interest in your outcome. When this rune is inverted, you must be aware that someone close bears you ill will. In a negative position, manners usually indicates an enemy, yes. But this is not always so. For instance, some rune readers suggest that it can denote male homosexuality, and that could be true. Somebody suffering impotence in a relationship because they're unsure of their sexual tendencies. Or nervousness and lack of courage. This is the result of a life blighted by an overly strict father or a harsh authority figure, yes. So, harsh upbringings, definitely. Have we got time? Yes, we have. It's time to leave all that misery of the past behind. Stop dwelling on it. Stop feeling like an outcast. You are not. You are divine in all parts of yourself. You are unique and you are a starseed. Don't devalue yourself. Yeah, we are going through transformation. There's the Scorpio energy. Things are changing at a cellular level, more than you know. For some of you, this couldn't be medical wise. 106. So, things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. You're doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world within your cells. It's time to release the old way of being that has kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode, which I said in the Easter read. Unbelievable. To choose a new way of being, where trauma is not your driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. Chiron, the wounded healer. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find a new way to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Ocean influence the card of Saturn. And what did they say? If Saturn is there, this relationship could be chilly. Represents destruction, transformation, and the Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. The Ocean represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest of levels, so if your mother's in spirit especially. While you are in the phase, and we had the Empress card, didn't we, so the mother's important, don't put yourself under too much pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps shifting your diet and exercise regime, which is what the High Priestess said. Getting energetic healing and support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved.